Is it therefore a project that has not achieved its original proposition, the idea, and so on? No, not necessarily. Falsibo had said already at that time, like, look, I'm more interested in the quality of the service than in the number of actual bus corridors. Which we thought at that time, like, oh well, that makes sense. But also when we become now to talk about the quality of the bus services offered, the bus service actually going down rather than going up. And this is a concern, you know, because this now also touches on the heart of why we are supporting the project. Why is UNEP supporting this project with 6 million, almost $6 million US dollars? That is because we want to see something changing in the actual commuting of passengers. That's great. I mean, from your perspective, I understand that. But why we are supporting it, we want to see that actually those passengers are going from A to B at the least cost option in terms of environmental costs. We're talking carbon dioxide emissions. So it's fantastic that, you know, people go from A to B. We want to see that it happens in a public transport system, that people actually are willing to leave their car behind or their motorcycle and say like, no, I opt for the bus because it is the most rapid transport system, BRT. Yeah, and that I've not seen them actually being implemented so that people will indeed, you know, car owners will opt to step into the bus. When this is, the service is like this, and some people are not going to shift, it's called modal shift, from buses or motorcycles into the bus. So there we have, you know, we are, let's say, diverging in opinion. Not only the numbers of passengers is an issue, but also we want to see that people actually leave their car, and the change of modal split, this change in city behavior. Yeah? That is for us a very serious worry. That is just one thing of where we say, like, you know, has the project really achieved what it was supposed to do? So. Not really, actually. Yeah? And there are more of these issues. We have spent over the last 6 years a lot of money through ITDP in supporting all the legal matters. When it comes from this, about this talk about this BLU to BUNB, that means that we've spent actually a fortune because we, means ITDP, believes that this would be the most efficient way of running a bus rapid transit system in Jakarta, and it's done by professionals ultimately, and not by city officials, government officials. Yes? Good morning, sir. Hi. Yeah? So we think that, you know, ultimately, and that's why we spend so much time and effort on it, to make that thing happen and so on. But we see that in the past, under Falsibo, these things have been dragging on and on. But I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that these things are now up for council to ratify. Is that correct? Yeah. So we have high hopes that during this new government, that these things will indeed come to fruition, that it will become better indeed, and so on. Again, we have extended this project with another year, and that year was because of these issues as BLU, BUND, and so on, because we were not finished yet and so on. Has anything happened? So far, not really, and we're going to close down the project, but I think that the best thing to extend the project with 1 year is that we carry over this particular Transjakarta busway project into a new government, a new city government. And that seems to be the biggest benefit, because from the feeling I have from, you know, newspaper clippings, from hearing about, you know, this new government, that they are more, what shall I say, open-minded to, and more supportive even to public transport in general. And that, I think, is a good foreboding for the next few years to come, that things will indeed move in the right direction. And that's also what I will express, you know, my satisfaction about that into the steering committee meeting later on. Another example, compressed natural gas. My goodness. Since we have made, you know, already during the midterm evaluation recommendations, fantastic. If you have buses, empty buses, crisscrossing through the city to get fuel, God knows where. Yeah, but in terms of CO2 emission per passenger, ultimately, that doesn't do very good. So ultimately, the environmental benefits of a project like this are being neutralized by nonsense buses going from A to C and so on to get, you know, a full tank of compressed natural gas. Now, I understand that again, you know, that things seem to be moving, that recently 2 stations have been added correctly, so that there are now from 4, there are now 6 stations in operation. So I'm a little bit happier, but we're not there yet, and certainly not when the amount of buses is going to be expanded. And when you're going to promote CNG, you have to make sure that that CNG is also available in the city. And that is not your responsibility alone, but that has to do with other stakeholders as well. And with Migas now out of the picture, I do not know exactly, Pertamina probably itself that has to deal with it. Plus, the city government has to also say like, and there, we are allocating land for it. Because that's what Pertamina say like, oh yeah, we can't move because there's no land.
Next year,
yes,
we could become 12.
12.
More? 12.
Yeah. No, become 12.
Become 12.
2 together. Okay.
Yeah, so they will add like 6 more CNG station. Currently we have like 6, and then they will add 6. This December they just launched
one more.
Last
week.
Oh, sorry, I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
But surely next year, if I'm still around, I'll knock at your door. No, I'm joking. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, we are battling and, you know, promoting this one and so on, and you see like, you know, in the steering committee, yes, but then I don't see anything happening after that. And so that, you know, you become a bit impatient indeed, you know, for these matters. Electronic road pricing. Hey, this is promised, hey, what we're going to do in the next 5-6 years and so on. Now, where are we? I understand in Corridor 6 with Bank DKI Jakarta. We're doing a limited exercise and that it is not ready to be rolled out completely.
Electronic ticketing.
Ticketing. Oh, sorry, I mean road pricing. Sorry, ticketing. Electronic ticketing. I mixed to get electronic road pricing. We'll talk about that in a moment. On the ticketing, these things were promised. And so on, they have not been done yet.
Bank DKI failed to accomplish this.
Yeah.
We give them opportunity until this year.
Yeah.
But next year, we will ask the bank, there are many e-money, like e-wallet, like Bank Mandiri, BNI, BCA, BRI. BRI has a commitment to help us to develop all in the harbor and bus. We believe next year, our transportation division.
Yes.
We believe next year, bank of BRI will accomplish all.
Yeah. You know, if you say these things or something, I certainly will write them down and so on and say like.
Yeah, you have to write it.
The reason is that we are now going over the next months to come, and I am not in a hurry, but we are going to do an evaluation. The United Nations will want to know, where did the 6 million go? Was it spent in the right way? So that means that totally independent people are coming that have nothing to do with the project. They are not part of ITDP.
I could say, sorry sir, I am newcomer.
Yeah, they can say that. They're old hands here. No, I understand, of course. Fair enough.
But the logic, but the logic.
Fair enough.
We really want to be responsible about what you have done to us.
Yes.
And then we believe next year, our electronic ticketing will accomplish, including the integration of the Kopaja, the bus.
If that can be achieved.
Yeah, like ITDP
recommendation
to us.
Yeah.
We will try, and we hope next year, maybe not only 2 corridors. We hope if the Kopaja, Kopami, Petro Mini want, include the regular bus, we want all the corridor. The problem is, all we want to ask is, you could imagine if the headway is 3 minutes, so our BRT become like a train. We will make a traffic jam or the intersection. That's why we have to redesign again about our corridor. We have to make this bus not across the road, but follow the route. So maybe from the corridor 1, the bus will move to corridor 6 or 12 or 11. So you want to become a traffic jam because of this bus. Because the bus flow become 3 minutes. Many buses. Less than 3 minutes. Maybe you have to study again how much the taxi. The taxi with the passenger. That's what the idea is like this. We don't care about the private car. When the traffic jam happen for the private car, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
All we want to make sure is our busway, no traffic jam. So everyone,
Then people will definitely choose.
they will choose.
Okay,
They
yes.
will shift.
If you're a boss, it's still okay. Have a driver, you could walk in your many spacey room car. You could walk in your car. But if you drive by yourself, you will think it's better I park my car and move, include the motorcycle. Today, the police report to me of each day 4 people die because they accident of motorcycle, and 9 become disabled. 9. That's the report. But actually, maybe we have to time 4 times 4. That means die 10 or 12 each day. So we will strict our regulation. The important is we want to add the bus first. We want to move the integration like ITDP recommendation. Next year, January we will try corridor 6. 6 sama satu aja. Yeah. We will try Kopaja because they already has a design, has a bus, just open the door. But maybe Metro Mini or another will follow. But if they don't want to follow, we still in the negotiation to acquisition the BUMN PPD. They have a transportation department company, perusahaan Jakarta itu. We want to acquisition that bus. Maybe we'll make it it's more easy to become BUMD. Then we have to wait for the local parliament to make this law. So we use this PPD. When we buy a 1,000 bus, we will put this to become the PPD asset. So this will back up our integration bus. Include the regular bus. Regular bus, the big one, if they want to make a design like a Jakarta, so they become like a feeder. If this happens, we just want to think about how to reroute the corridor. I think that's what we want from ITDP to design. But what you recommendation about the greenway, we will do that next year. Most of the part, including use of GSR and many roads, including we still prepare the regulation to make the underpass and flyover for the people, but we want to make it like a food court.
Oh, the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge, but multi-function bridge. And we need to make a new regulation about that. If we just to make a bridge for people, nobody take care of maintenance about that. And the security, the convenience like air condition, they will have a problem. That's why we want to make a new regulation about that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, we really follow all the recommendations from ITDP. Very, very happy. This guy did a good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
You can design the system with a very, very short headway with buses and have no saturation, have no problem at the station or at the intersection. But it's a very detailed design question. And some of these detailed design questions we've addressed already and some we have not. So when you agree, okay, we will do integration on corridor 6, you need to rebuild some of the stations, otherwise they'll saturate. And some of the intersections we have to look at with some care also. And if you decide to do Corridor 1 also with integration, then we also have done some preliminary design for how to avoid the problem of the stations with too many buses backing up.
Yeah.
So we can solve these problems, but they are detailed engineering problems. So you can't sort of just dump buses on or you have a problem. That's true. What you said is true.
Excuse me, you need some tea or coffee?
I'm quite happy.
Coffee? Tea? Coffee?
No, I had just
Oh,
before.
no, no,
He
coffee.
just came out of the airplane, so
Coffee.
We actually provided the design of the station
I have
on
already.
Friday, and then but in January a team from China will also come to Jakarta to build to design the intersection problem as you mentioned before. So for example, the Corridor 6 along the Mampang and Buncit area, there's so many intersections there that we can also integrate with the Transjakarta and also with the crossing, the pedestrian crossing on that section.
You know, on Corridor 1, the congestion problem is caused by 4 intersections only. And we redesigned those intersections. Pedro Saz came and we gave redesigns already in 2006, but nobody implemented, you know. So this is the problem. We are always giving...
But now,
You know,
Well,
they're
yeah,
always, but it's not under Akbar. He can't do it. It's under this group, you know. So,
this hope,
you know, but anyway, they're just sitting there.
No, we ask him.
Recommendations.
we have to give the reason why.
Well, it costs money, you know. It's expensive. Some of the change,
No,
but
but-
some are simple. Some are simple.
Thank you for Mr. Water question. I think they give to this suggest about to make better traffic, improvement traffic, but sometimes we need coordination with the others. I think with the to make
Police?
institution like police, like public works. So I think about the Corridor 6, yeah. We talked to JICA and Public Works. We need underpass from 2 intersection from the Kuningan Timur Shelter until to no, from Kuningan Timur Shelter to Tendean. I think reduce 30 minutes. We can reduce 30 minute travel time if we build underpass.
We could do that, or we have to wait for the public
Public
works
works.
from the parliament,
Yep.
not us. That's our authority or the central government authority. That's not.
But this is JICA already have design, but need 3-4 years. But I talked to Public Works DKI, why you take over? Because if you use budget from DKI, we don't take.
Kenapa PU kita nggak lakukan ya? Maksudnya panggil PU rapat ya? Hah? Kita bisa.
Bisa.
Selama kita mengeluarkan biaya bisa. Kita bisa nyerap anggaran.
Pak bisa itu bisa punya.
Desain and build pun tidak berani tapi
Harmony.
itu masalah kita. Tadi ingat tidak dapat ya, mau pakai jagung semua dapat KPS ada desain and build nggak dapat bisa. Lucu. Okay, and we already have decided next year we will develop the elevated bus toll road from Ciledug,
Ciledug to Blok M.
special for the busway.
Koridor 30. Yep.
Koridor yang apa?
13.
13 an.
Where?
Ciledug.
Ciledug from Ciledug to Blok M.
South,
Special elevated.
south of Block M.
Yeah.
Southwest.
We hope in our 5 years term here we will accomplish 15 corridor.
Oh, okay.
You got right.
It would be.
Hey, I'm writing it up.
It would be great to also have a target.
And I record it, so we remember it.
It would be great if you could also have a target of 1 million passengers on Transjakarta. Because you should have 1 million passengers with that many corridors, and you have like 300,000. And it's because you don't have the direct services. So 1 million passengers is something you could get your, publicity around it. And for us, we told you that we would get 1 million. So we are embarrassed now. We didn't. we didn't succeed. But it's very important as it's important. You're going to have a lot more passengers.
The last cash advance and so on. So it's fantastic that you still want to do this, that, and the other, but our money is stopping.
Yeah.
So I mean,
we don't want to bribe you with the tea for our money. Don't worry about that. We have efficiency. This year we're still not absorbed in the budget, almost at 3 trillion rupees. Jakarta. That's why we believe next year, if we really do efficiency like the scope, everything, we will have enough money to do it by ourselves. Really.
yeah.
The important is we need just your recommendation, what the implementation we have to do. You just tell me, including the last recommendation. But just tell me what part we have to do. Like 10 day semua kasih tahu aja.
Alright.
Kalau bisa hari ini kita panggil PU, nanti panggil PU aja. If we could do this, if we could use a design and build, next year we will build it. We don't want to X-1, X-1. How come like that? Maybe this Wednesday I will have a meeting with the Attorney General, yang Jaksa Agung, and the Home Affairs Ministry. We want to talk about this. How come? Do you have a president decree about could we use the design and build? So 1 year we could accomplish the project. We don't need 1 year, first year, consultant, the next year, a bid, the next year. So we need 3 years, how come? But nobody have a courage to do this. So I want to have a meeting, special meeting. We want to make this law become implemented in our provincial government.
That's interesting.
So it's more fast.
For the meantime, ITDP still has some remaining funds and so on from other sources, so they can continue some of their activities.
Yeah, I think ITDP still keep
Yes,
on
yes,
it.
yes.
We have funds from REAP, another European funder, and now the Ford Foundation is very interested in the pro-poor transportation policy.
If you need office, I could rent you research from.
I think, I think that maybe in the spring, the New York City Transportation Commissioner, Jeanette Sadi-Khan, is going to be interested in coming to visit you and your governor. And I think at that time, maybe the Ford Foundation representative may come. The date is still not fixed, but it would be nice also for you to see what was done in Guangzhou. So we would invite you and the governor to visit the Guangzhou system.
I think no need, you just send me the videos. Fast. Don't waste our time to visit the Guangzhou. Just, you have shown me.
But seeing is believing.
Mr. Akbar is okay, not me. I believe in him.
I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
But Mr. Akbar is going to need help. And because as if you have to handle all these integration, this is lots of new contracts they have to manage and all kind of things. So it really does matter that Transjakarta becomes a more autonomous entity. And this is really important for transparency purposes, you know. A lot of the confidence of the people would be better if the accounts were very clear and Transjakarta had powers to hire and fire and the money was kept in the Transjakarta, so it was put back into the system. So this as Pirka was mentioning, the creation of the BMV, or at least some mechanism to to empower Transjakarta is very important, particularly as the system expands. They really need the very good quality professionals, which they're trying their best, under the current structure. And the contracts with the bus operators also very important to have some, the maintenance of the buses are going down because there's nothing in the contract to penalize the operator if they are not maintaining. So the contract and the power of Transjakarta to enforce the contract is extremely important. These are fundamental problems. So I hope you can support us to push through this.
Like a contract, you have to revise the contract. Yeah. For a new contract, we have to more strict. The problem is when we change to BUMD, Mr. Akbar have to resign from the bureaucrat. If you want to be a CEO then.
Reappoint.
Are you ready? Still too young, still too young.
But Mr. Pedro, it's right that we fail to bring good quality for Transjakarta. In my opinion, there are three things, three reasons. First, the CNG availability we have mentioned. Also, we have few number of buses. I think we late to provide more buses, but Mr. Vice Governor has mentioned the next year 100 new buses will available. But the third thing, maybe you mentioned about the sterilization. That's, I think, almost 50%. Make our quality going down because of the sterilization.
Mixed traffic.
Mixed
traffic.
Mixed traffic.
You've heard about what the mayor in Istanbul did?
Control.
Huh? He reversed the direction of the busway.
Contraflow.
It's not
Counterflow. There are
It's
no
different.
more
It's
people
not.
using that road in the wrong way.
Yeah,
But
they
it's
never-
a very challenging of course, but
I don't
who?
know.
We have discussed about this, but there is problem if we implement contraflow in Jakarta, because there are road only two lane. If we make contraflow, so only one lane.
Yes.
No, it's not a good option.
I think Istanbul is not contraflow because
No.
because they build a fence along as the road busway.
It is contraflow. It's
Once
not.
you-
I think-
implement contraflow.
Once
It's
you
the
have
same.
enough
It's the same
buses,
contraflow or not contraflow because
higher.
really they build
Self-enforced.
fence as long as
Along the
along
corridor.
corridor.
So they built a fence along the corridor.
Along the
And
corridor.
apparently the district already put a fence as well, but
I see that. I can see that you're working on it at this moment.
yeah.
Yes.
We have
Yeah.
But not purely because we have many junction.
Because there's many intersection and there's an
intersection.
enter over.
Yeah, I understand.
we have got
But also, Wagub, the other thing that we haven't really mentioned that has good potential in Jakarta is also the bike sharing. So bike sharing is the public bike where they, like for example in Guangzhou, the city put
Like
5
Melbourne, everything.
Yeah, so I mean, currently, like the one that we designed, like if you see at the back, that we designed 100 stations, locations, with 2,000 bicycles will be there. Initially, that like in the case of Guangzhou, the city itself invested in the in the system, but we probably here would like to go for a different approach where we maybe approach some private investor to initiate the idea. Like some of the people like Bank Mandi, they already interested in operating this. Well, not operating, invested in the system. But I think also some private developers also interested, like where they can have the station near the property, but also one in the the BRT stations, and also some other area where they can help the commuting from the train, the BRT station or train station to the office or to the shopping malls. So that's something that we would like to bring up also tomorrow in our discussion in the seminar, which I think it'll be good if you can attend or perhaps give.
They need to pay. use e-money to pay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
use the money. I mean, they have to register first, and then they, with the money, with all the deposit and stuff. So with the deposit of, let's say, 500,000 rupiah, that means they have to return the bike before the, before the money refunded on the card. So that's why Bank Mandiri is very interested, because it can bring up the usage of the
The e-money.
Yeah, the e-money.
I think BCL will interested too,
Yeah.
to make the customer become life more convenient, more easy.
Yeah. I mean, this can help. Like, I don't know, maybe you wanna show.
Yeah, next year we do this.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the prime minister already.
as a GSR.
So this
Yeah.
can be
Yeah,
fun.
next year we implemented this too.
Yeah.
And this is interesting, next year.
Yeah. So
we recommend a Chinese company. It's very good in China. A very good company, and they did some in Manila. They did, and they're exporting now. But we recommend for the beginning. It's very high
for
quality.
the
Yeah,
bicycle.
you give us the price,
Yeah.
so you give us the what area you want to implement it first. Maybe how many route 10 or 20. You calculated the cost. I will bring this to the GSR of the company. You will ask them which company want. So all the bicycle could use their brand
Yeah.
like a promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's more easy, like a bank. We try this.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have to put the CCTV.
Yeah. I mean,
Somebody steal it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
GPS,
I mean, one of the ideas, one of the issues, because this will be conflicting with the object. So what idea that we can have is like to put the kind of like a big station with the bike also object there. And when we also talked about some operators, because this needs to be operated by some company. Like our first choice will be Transjakarta, because the bike needs to be distributed and also maintained and everything. So the first option will be Transjakarta operate the system, but also we asked whether Bluebird is interested. And they said maybe if we combine taxi rank, because Transjakarta is so lack of taxi stand or taxi rank, but maybe it can be a good idea to have. So basically, the station location will be busy. People use for object, also for taxi, and also for the bicycle. And this can also ensure that the bike will be properly guarded, but at least by the object driver.
But we still not yet have a special bike.
This can go all. I mean, the idea is.
They use sidewalk.
I mean, the idea of this also, it can also boost the usage of the short trip for the bicycle, so that we can know where exactly is the density lane. So once we know where people will go, then we can build the bike facility, the route, and everything like that. So that's why like tomorrow we will have this.
So actually they are free of charge.
For the our design for the half hour.
Free of charge.
Free of charge.
They put the money first, and when they put back,
They
they credit it again.
after the
Refund.
after the
Refund,
2 minutes, then we will have we will start putting the charge, because we want people to use it as as a minimum, like as efficient as possible. So not use it for like whole day. So then for people want to take it for whole day, then they have to pay for like 75,000 rupiah.
That's a good idea. So tomorrow we will see
So if
what
you,
happened, what the other argument about this.
if
But for me,
you
this is a good idea.
if you have time tomorrow morning, like between 9 and 10.
I think governor will go in.
Not really.
Oh, yeah?
Currently it's
He
the
confirm.
so the
Tomorrow,
He
the
can.
disposition is to Pak
she check
Sultan-
it.
Pak Tanto.
Pak Tanto, but I think it'll be good from the political perspective. Also, like you've been following
Kita
activity.
kalau Pak Gubernur nggak datang, kita datang. But don't ask me to make a keynote speak. I'm not really a keynote speaker.
Okay, no, that's fine, because I think we're gonna need you to open because we're gonna have the exhibition. All of this material will be under the exhibition tomorrow, so it will be good for you to see what we have done, and also maybe see.
At 9 ya,
Yeah,
tomorrow. Baik, dia ambil
if you
datang.
can, that will be good. Like open
Pak
the.
Gubernur nggak datang, kita datang. Kasih semangat.
Thank you. Very much.
Menunjukkan dukungan pada
Iya.
busway.
Yeah.
Yeah, this way.
Spot Mr. Yoga.
Busway-nya, Pak.
That's it. So yeah, maybe Dr. K.
Yeah, no, in addition, the project was actually called Bus Rapid Transit and Non-Motorized Transport. That component of NMT has been always having a bit of, call it second priority. We had hoped at the end to see maybe bike lanes, and not just for Sunday morning as a recreational, but actually for commuting, going to your work, going to your school, university and so on. Fatahila, as an example, I think is very well received by many. But in terms of replication, so far we have not seen very much yet, because I think that Fatahila proves that a square can also be a square for people, and not just for cars and buses and so on back and forth, but a livable place for human beings. And I think that needs a lot of replication to make Jakarta indeed a city for human beings. And we hope that the sample will be replicated everywhere, actually. And so far, we've seen too little in terms of to call it a success. Yes, Fatahila is a success, but a success that is not being replicated. And how far was it a real success? So again, it is weird. All of us have 2 feet. Well, most people at least. And so we are all pedestrians, and we all like this kind of atmosphere and surroundings also where there are no cars and so on. And in order to make Jakarta more livable and so on, NMT is definitely a very big and serious component to take into account. And also we would like to see, hopefully, that that the project has started to push things in the right direction, but we have yet to see the big results, the big successes to come. So far, it's a bit. And the same is also true, of course, for parking, for traffic demand management, and so on, for electronic road pricing, as I already mentioned before. Things need to be done there and to make Jakarta more livable. And I think, but that's maybe a private opinion, the best cities in the world are not characterized by big motorways crisscrossing through it. It requires something else. If you live in Paris or in London or even in Singapore, you think twice before you have a car and before you want with your car to go into the city, because there are other alternatives. And as soon as these other alternatives are there widely available at an affordable level, people will not complain. Again, in Paris, you will think twice before you want to cross the city by car, and there's no need for it because you have so many alternatives that do it for you. And that is also, I think, true, also in Jakarta, that needs to be taken into account. Provide people with a sufficient public transport, and I think all these concerns of people will die down and so on. And I'm not saying that there should be no toll roads and so on, but it's secondary priority only. And if ever, then it has to be for BRT scheme, for mass transit, rather than for an individual that wants to go from A to B.
That's what we want to maximize this BRT first.
Yes,
Yeah.
it has a potential.
We put the ERT,
Yes.
and maybe the donation for the parking. So in the city, maybe very expensive. We want to make a regulation to let the private sector to develop the parking building. We just want to put 20% from the price. We don't care about how much the price for parking the car. So this depends on the market. That's what we want to. But the first we want to try is the integration of the Kopaja to this. You know why? Because that's the problem. When the Kopaja get in the busway, some shelter, they could not stop again. You can imagine if this is one shelter, 1, 2, 3. Now you put in the busway, he could not come out again. So how about this passenger here? We have to think about this too. Ya, Kopaja kan nggak bisa ngambil lagi di HT itu kan? Become a direct service kan? Nah, so how about the passenger here? Maybe they need to use a bike or we don't know. You have to walk or we have, this is not a problem. And that's why I think you have to reroute again the busway corridor. Because we don't want to make a new traffic jam in the intersection. So you have to calculate it all. So all route become the one busway. So we become maybe 20 corridor, different corridor. Mesti putar-putar itu.
We have now the longest BRT corridor in the world. So our target now is that to have the highest number of frequency and also capacity. Maybe after Bogota or after Guangzhou, but also we want also to have the highest number of passengers, because if we can integrate, we have estimated with only integration for 10 routes, we can double Transjakarta passengers. So if we integrate more,
I think the problem is how about the intersection with the private car.
Yeah, no, that's something that
You become a new traffic jam. A traffic jam will be a problem for you busway again.
Yeah.
Well, part of your problem right now is that your Copages and your Metro Minis are operating in the curb lane on the same corridors, and so they're taking more or less 2 lanes in the curb, and then so the point is, if we can move those routes into the existing bus lane, then that will help the traffic for the rest of the cars also. That was the original idea, but it was never implemented like that. The frequency inside the busway can be much lower than currently it is without any problem. So we need to move all those bus routes inside the bus lane. Then you have much better situation for the cars. And there are some spaces. There's no problem for the bus to leave the bus lane. They can just go into the mixed traffic to make the turn. It's not a problem. In Guangzhou, the buses, when they want to make a turn, they just go into the mixed traffic and they turn right or they turn left. Doesn't cause any problem.
So we stop to develop the sterilisasi itu
Fence.
We will stop the fence.
You need the fence, but you know exactly where they need to leave. They need to leave in a very specific place. So where they need to leave, you take it out.
Yeah, I mean in Lanzhou you have fence.
Yeah,
Jadi nggak bisa.
you can leave gaps.
Kalau
in
udah,
fence.
kenapa nggak perlu fence ya? I think we don't need this again, this fence. When the private car get in, they will trap in the bus.
Yeah.
We take a picture. We don't give them a license again.
Oh yeah. Well,
When next year want to renew the license,
Law and enforcement approach.
that's very important. We get in, we don't care.
More frequency.
But I mean with the more
In
frequency.
Guangzhou in
More
Istanbul.
frequency, nobody have a courage to get in again.
yeah. Once the frequency's up, it becomes more self-enforced.
So that
for
means
sure.
I want to save the money for the fence,
Fence.
for the fence parameter. For what? It's better we develop like an underpass and the money. Then we use for this fence
But
parameter.
the separator doesn't cost very much money. Right?
What? You don't know the cost for us. Very expensive. You ask him. Here's the idea of this guy. You ask him. Very expensive.
And there's this elevated one now.
No, they have like big ones. Like
That one is expensive. I haven't seen this one.
Very expensive. You ask this guy. Very expensive.
The old one was not expensive. Just
Mahal itu. Ya.
Tapi kita harus sementara butuh Pak. Seperti di Istanbul dan di Guangzhou mereka pagarin Pak lajur busway-nya.
Yeah, I know we want it, but the price is too expensive.
Because we need more rigid because behavior driver Indonesia and Istanbul and Guangzhou there many follow the instruction, but on Jakarta the driver
is very aggressive.
So
we need more rigid, more.
When you increase their salary, they move to the new route, and the punishment is strict punishment. I believe they will change.
The fine is very cheap, 100,000. I think we have to propose to the police to increase the
You just
fine.
you just stole their license. You broke their license.
Cut
Cut the license.
You don't need to talk to the driver. You talk to their boss.
And
We don't want to make an argument with the driver. We just stop the owner. We never do this before. When the car have a problem with the driver, we just punish the driver. The fine too cheap. But if you talk to the boss, the owner of this bus, different.
and
You sanksi ke owner.
The lowest.
Ya, ya kita persulit aja, izin persulit aja.
Sekalian izin Pak, sekalian itu untuk ini Pak, penyeberang jalan supaya tidak nyebrang di sepanjang jalan itu yang kadang-kadang crash dengan batu Pak.
Yeah, that's another problem. That's why we want to make like an underpass, this multi-function bridge, like a store or food court. So we make people will feel convenient to use this. Yeah, underpass we have like a food court or maybe a store. If you just put.
Another thing we did was we made a lot of designs for better surface treatment at the intersection for safe pedestrian crossing that would not cause any problems for the traffic. They also were not implemented exactly. Some pieces were implemented, but you could do a lot just to make the surface.
Sorry, I want to know what's the recommendation. I need the data. What the recommendation they don't want to or not yet implement.
Oh, we could give you a very thick book.
I need it.
Okay, you can do it.
Because you have book for 6 years. Or in
More like-
6 year recommendation, I need it.
Yeah, great.
Mr. Yoga, why don't you give it to me?
Okay.
6 year recommendation. What kind of recommendation?
Like a lot.
In bahasa Indonesia or in English?
Ada versi bahasanya juga ada Pak.
Kalau bahasa aku copy, atau you have a soft copy?
Soft
Yeah.
copy juga ada. Bisa kita
Kasih soft copy.
Yeah.
kita bentuk sendiri nanti.
We put in Jakarta in our website. This is what the DKI don't want to implement it in the past 6 years. So you could feel happy.
I would feel a lot happier, yes. Yes.
I will in touch directly.
It's not
about
that
this.
we're totally miserable about this project, that's not the case, and so, but we feel that the potential was there to achieve much and much more, and that we would have met most of the original objectives and so on. And that, you know, if I now, after 6 years, look and say like, well, maybe, or maybe this is coming soon and so on, it is not there yet. So that's why from my side, I would like to hold back these outsider evaluators a little bit, so that there are still months and months to come in which the whole climate can change a bit, and then you can actually see it. Because then also the project has achieved much more of the original objectives. That would be better. So me, from my side, I will try to hold these people back, so we don't. I can do that administratively, and so by submitting the terms of reference late, and you know, that kind of stuff. So I will try to do my best to postpone this. Secondly, after December 31, there can be no more expenditures, no more payments, unless you have my express approval. It's one of those things that is.
So
It's a
you
rule.
mean to tell me there's a loophole that we could get an express approval from you?
Yes, yes, and so far that if you say like, look, there is still a $10,000 or $20,000,
Oh yeah?
and we would like to use that for the dissemination of what we've learned over the last 6 years.
Oh.
Then I would say, yes, that would fit in the project itself, that you
Okay.
disseminate these things and so on. So if you have leftover money, by all means, then you use it up rather than giving it back to Jeff. But so there must be a rationale behind it. It's not that, you know, for any continuation or something, I can't approve that.
But something
So-
like this we could do. Oh, that helps, yeah.
For instance, yes, yes. No, I mean, you know, if that would help you also and so on to do this particular exercise, yes, by all means I can make money, if it's still available, then I can give an express approval for that, yes, can do.
But
Yeah.
this is, we say, is a blessing in disguise. So this become an opportunity to accomplish what you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And-
this could become very fast.
And
I think not more than 3 years. We could very fast if we do.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
could use a design and build. Hopefully this week I could make this become a new agreement with the central government. So in 3 years we could maybe 15 corridors. We could increase the quantity of the buses.
Yeah.
Include the new shelter,
Yeah.
like a greenway, a bike way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make a quick
We're serious
conversation
about
and
this.
everything.
This is our opportunity
Yeah.
to prove this in 3 years. So not every Indonesian the same problem.
Alright.
You have to change your perception. We have to prove this.
No, but it's also,
This is the new government, new Jakarta.
yeah, but it, over and beyond Jakarta, it can also serve a purpose in other secondary cities of Indonesia and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Thank you very much.
here for many of the.
Thank you very much for your 6 years. Now you just postpone a little while. After we approve another improvement, please come back again with your money.
Yeah, I understand that the Asian Development Bank is formulating a project for Laos, Philippines, and Indonesia, specifically on non-motorized transport. So I'm sure that also Jakarta will be a beneficiary of that particular project again. So things are moving, and this is not the end of the world. Certainly not for the Transjakarta, but this particular project as it is, that will come to a stop. Yeah, so maybe a compilation and so on. We will, if there's still money for it, and so
Yeah, okay,
by all
that's good.
means.
But we won't come to a stop because
Yes.
we have money from other sources.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes. So perfect. Yeah.
You still give us the opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They are very helpful.
Jadi, ya udah, saya datang lah besok kan. Besok saya datang yang penting tepat waktu ya.
Yeah.
I hope you on schedule. At 9 we start, 9:30 I will come back because I have another meeting at 10 tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Half hour is enough from Sahib.
So you have to use the name.
Yeah.
We use that for radar, but we never admit.
No, because the,
use it.
but the traffic in that particular section is really bad in the morning. It took us quite a while from Sahid.
From here to Sahib or
No, from here to Sahid it's okay if you use Mangi, but Karet is so disaster right now because of the new flyover.
Sometimes I use the bridge.
Yeah,
I have to walk. If I need to walk, I walk.
yeah.
Transjakarta.
Now this is Jakarta. The pacing is overload.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak.
Thanks. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Super.
Hopefully you don't become disappointed for your 6 years.
No, it's just we realize that so much more could have been achieved had City also been there. But I mean, I never said you cannot quote me on that. But what I'm trying to say is that it depends also on the support that you get from the city government, which is in power at that moment. Yeah, and with some it works better than with others, and I have high hopes that things still can be achieved. Yes. Yeah. So let's see.
After this meeting, you will feel difference, government.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Let's shake hands on that.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
We